What's good, family? What's good? It's your boy Urban Sports Guru, and like I told you, I'm doing my predictions, and this is my prediction for the AFC West. For the AFC West. Now, an AFC West team, I think is going to bring up the rear. Team I see bringing up the rear. To be honest with you, a lot of people are down on Oakland. I'm not. Team I see bringing up the rear in the AFC West is the Denver Broncos, and I see that by default. You know what I mean? I see this by default. Why? I think the Denver Broncos are a talented football team. I think they're very talented football teams. We all know how talented they are on the defensive end. We all know how good a defensive mind Vic Fangio is. You know, with Chubb and Patrick Surtain Jr. is going to contend for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be that damn good. I think 2, 3 years from now, he's going to be about the midway of his second year. He'll be contending to be one of the best corners in the game, right there with Ramsey and Gilmore. I think he's going to be that good. However, Teddy Bridgewater ended up winning out the starting QB spot over Drew Lock. Drew Lock, we know how physically gifted it is, but he's always kind of reminded me of Jay Cutler. He reeks of Jay Cutler to me. I've said that from when he got drafted. That's why I want my Giants touching him. I'm glad they didn't. He impressed me his rookie year, and then that was it. He doesn't make great decisions. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is not going to mess the game up for you. We know this. He's not going to mess the game up for you. But I don't like what they have. They have skill position, Jerry Jeudy. It's not like they're devoid of talent on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if the scheme works for them. I don't know if the scheme works for them. I don't think they can score points when you think of the teams in their division. When you look at the Chargers are going to score a hell of points. When you look at the KC's going to score a hell of points. When you look at Las Vegas, the Raiders going to score points. So by default, just off that alone, even though they have a great defense, they have a top 10 defense, I don't think they can keep up scoring-wise with the other teams in their division. So by default, they're going to bring up the rear and be last in the division. Not be so much of a bad football team, but by default, they'll be last in the division. Third in the division will be the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, John Gruden, Mike Mayock, they've had so much draft capital. I don't think they've done the most out of all the draft capital. However, people call Alex Leatherwood a reach. He's looking real good in the preseason. I like what I'm seeing. I think they're going to have a better defense. I think they have Gus Bradley. Y'all know who I am with names. Gus Bradley. One of the former Seattle DCs is going to be their DC. And I like what I'm seeing out of that defense. I think Raiders are going to have a very much improved defense. Everybody's talking about Dallas is going to be very much improved. I think their defense is going to be very much improved. Very much improved. Can they improve above being a 500 team and get into the playoffs? That is the question. Right now, I will still have to say no. Because like I said, this is about roster evaluation. On offense, I do like their quarterback. People are down on David Carr. I'm not. Or Derek Carr, whichever Carr it is. On Derek Carr. I'm not. I like Derek Carr. I like him. I like their running back. You know, I like their running back. I like their running game. I like their online. I like who they got outside the skill positions. I like them very much. Is that going to be enough to supplant what's in KC? We all know KC's the creme de la creme. Or is going to be enough to supplant what's in Los Angeles, the Chargers? I don't know. And right now, I would have to say no. So I see them coming in third with like a 10-7 record and narrowly missing the playoffs. Now, like I said, this is about roster evaluation. Then I look at the Chargers. There's a reason why the Chargers was on the list right there with Tampa as to where Tom Brady might go. There's a reason why. Because when you look at this roster, top to bottom, this roster's stacked. Stacked. I'm going to say it again. Stacked. Derwin James is coming back. One of the best, most versatile safeties in the game. Yeah. They get a full year out of him. Bosa got paid. Joey Bosa got paid. And, just on the defensive side of the ball, they got studs at every level, every single level. Line, linebacker, secondary. They got studs at every side on every level of the defense. On offense, the one issue was offensive line. That was the one issue. So if they was to get time, they could have used last year's draft capital on the O-line, much like Tampa did. Getting Tristan Wirfs, they could have used that on O-line. But they didn't get time. They used it on the quarterback. So now they use it on the right quarterback. When I look at Justin Herbert, I think the coach in Oregon should be fired. Because when I saw him in Oregon, it was very underwhelming to me. I saw his physical gifts, but the play, the tape, was underwhelming to me. And then when I see him his rookie year in the NFL, I always wonder, why isn't the play to what I see, the talent? You see it one year, then you see it the next year. And, once you get to the combine, there's the Underwear Olympics, and everyone just always someone they get so enamored in how tall he is and da-da-da. And he comes to the league, and okay, he's just a big dummy. He can't make reads, and he throws a bunch of picks. And that's what kind of Justin Herbert screamed to me. And then when I first seen him, his first start against KC, I looked at him like, what the fuck was I thinking? That was my thing. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? What the hell possessed me to think that Tua was better than this guy? I admit my mistakes, people. I admit my mistakes. Justin Herbert is the truth. Justin Herbert this year could end up being MVP. He's that damn good. The only issue they had, the offensive line, what they do. They draft a tackle out of Northwestern, shoring up the offensive line a little bit. Chargers are going to be a problem. They're going to be a real fucking problem this year. That's not me standing out on a limb, because I'm not the only one who feels that way. Chargers are going to be a problem. Justin Herbert's going to be a problem. And I like what they did defensively, because Rams had the #1 defense last year. He's now their head coach. So you got Justin Herbert, a protected Justin Herbert, and now you have all those studs they have on defense playing great defense, keeping them in ball games. Eat more receipts. I feel sorry for the AFC West. They will challenge KC, but I'm still going to give the division to KC. My one issue with KC, and I said this last year, for those of y'all follow me on IG, I said this last year, I'm scared to death for their run defense. Their run defense is atrocious. Their run defense is fucking terrible. It's awful. It's garbage. Now, this isn't a team that's devoid of talent on the defensive side of the ball. You have one of the best defensive tackles in the league in Chris Jones. You have probably the best all-around safety in the game with Tyrann Mathieu. He can play in the box. He's the best center fielder in the game. He's by a snare, he's the best safety in the game. You have Micah Patrick, Buda Baker, and Jamal Adams is a problem. He's the best in the box to me. But I give it the Honey Badger a slight edge over all of them. So that's not a team that's devoid of talent. But when I see teams that are able to physically pound the football down their throat, I see teams that can pound the football down the throat and keep up with them scoring-wise. I watched the Raiders last year in both games pound the run down their throat and make big plays in the passing game off of that. And KC basically had to win shootouts. They had to win shootouts because of that. Basically because of them getting gashed in the run game. I watched in the Super Bowl, yes, I think Tampa benefited from some terrible calls. Horrible calls, I think they benefited from. But KC's defense provided zero resistance. There was no fancy playmaking being done by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that Super Bowl. is we're gonna bludgeon you down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then we're gonna go play action, and because we're bludgeoning you down your throat, there's gonna be guys wide open, and there was nothing they was able to do about it. Now y'all know I'm a Spagnola guy. You know, my Giants days. I love me some Spags, but he's gonna have to show up that run defense. See, I don't care what the rankings say about what their rush defense is, because you gotta understand, this team scores so much and can score so fast because you have who are visually the best quarterback anyone's ever seen. Teams go against them. They're not in positions to run the football because you're already down 14 zip or 21 zip. But what happens when you're running the football so good, you're gashing them so good that it's back and forth. You're able to go back and forth with them, like the Raiders was able to. You know, like 2 years ago in a regular season game, the way Tennessee was able to, and they beat them in that game. That's my concern for KC. I still think they win this division, though. That's my take. See me in the light. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. See me in the comments. Your boy Urban Sports Guru. I'm out. Salute.